Good evening. Hi, Aro. Oh, jeez. Good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my stream. I'm gonna just open off with that. Thanks for the prime, XO.
Casein Karkataya.
Um, Man, I'm gonna just straight up cut to the chase here. I'm gonna make sure my door's closed, and we're gonna start talking about this. Thanks for the follow. Um, I'm very behind on videos. And to be fully honest with you, I keep thinking in my mind, dude, why am I not like, why don't I have a trillion subscribers yet? And the number one way to get more subscribers on YouTube. I love you too, Aro. Thanks for coming by. Bye. The number one way to get more subscribers on YouTube and listen to this shit, is to upload consistently. And I have not done that. I have not uploaded since last year. I think I only made like 3 videos in total. 3 or 4 of my usual stuff in long form, like in 2025. Three. Three people. That's unacceptable. That is baseline unacceptable if I really cared that much. So we have work to do, me and you, gang. And by me and you, I do mean me and you. If you have like homework or work to be doing right about now, I'd open that up and we're just gonna work, me and you. And also, if you could, do I have water in this? I do have water in this. I'm surprised YouTube hasn't stopped the old vanity links from working anymore. I'm surprised. Anyway, I have a couple of things on my list of videos to work on right about now. I think my biggest problem right now, chat, is that I haven't really found something I've locked in on for a while. I don't know why. I think it's because like all the videos I want to make that aren't like specifically like from my own personal past experience are harder for me to lock in on. Like the 3DS retrospective, like out of the videos that are finished, I experienced this firsthand. I experienced this firsthand. This hasn't been recorded because I don't like it. This is a Q&A. I made this while in a class about video. Witnessed this firsthand, was there. Like, I want to try and get away from that sort of thing of videos that are quite bluntly technically about me. Because like that's cool and all. I can make a video that's technically about my own experiences and me if I wanted to, but I don't want to. What a surprise. I think that's cringe. I think, quite bluntly, I can do better than that, and I want to do better than that. I have a couple of other videos that I'm really excited about here, but the problem is every time I go back to them and I'm like, okay, let's sit down and write this damn thing. I'm like blanking. Hey, Nax. Like, quite bluntly, I'm really excited about YouTube and making videos. I've been a lot more excited since the shorts binge in March 2024. I was really excited about analytics and YouTube titles and all that, and I've gotten more into that as we've gone on, but I can't really be excited about stuff that I'm not making right about now. So, I have a couple of things that I'm currently working on. One of them is in my Google Docs, and I don't particularly want to show my entire thing, my browser. However, it is a collab, And I'm using Google Docs because I'm gonna be fully honest. Notion's sharing features are absolute dog shit, and I hate them. There's a lot of things I want to work on. I'm not sure which. So, chat, you get to choose. What do we want to work on tonight? Any like out of these videos up top here, from top to bottom, what do we want? What do we want next? Because if I can just like get like a lock in, except for this one. This one, nope. Hold on. Let me just throw this away. What do we want? Because I would like, I feel like at least getting like a kick towards what we want next on the channel would be nice to have. Journalism, censorship, and Minecraft. Really? Ooh. The public transport video is not a collab video anymore. It's just me. Although, I have interest in this one. This is just a video about the uncensored library that the reporters put out in 2020 or 2019. I do not remember when. When did the uncensored library come out? Like, the uncensored library is really, really interesting. I like the idea of the uncensored library. That's a fun little video, especially since that one's an interesting video. I think it's a lot, especially since like this video is a lot more deep than what I usually do. It's not like overly political, because I've been overly political since I started opposing Israel's genocide, I guess. And I don't know. Journalism, censorship, and Minecraft is a fun one, though. It's a fun, interesting video to make. This one is going to be really interesting if I get into that one. Hi, Violet. I could work on the VR video because the headset is right next to me, and I did play a little bit of Half-Life Alyx. One of the fully written ones. One of the ones that's more written than the others. Okay. A lot of them are retrospectives or require a lot of research that needs to be done offline. Like, I can't do the Canadian TV retrospective on stream, nor can I do the Roblox retrospective, nor can I do Disney Channel original movie. That video has been in like development hell since like summer 2023. So that's something. Although, understanding audio might be an interesting thing to go for. Ooh, or the Hamilton video, I'm not sure. I think understanding audio might be an interesting one to go off of. Either that or a digital switchover video. Is this the rewrite? This is the rewrite. So, it's between those two. Alright. What do we want between those two? Now that we've narrowed it down a little bit deeper. The Owl House video is out of place. Does it? Now this I gotta see. Hold on. I don't know about out of place, but anyways, between these two today. Right, bet. I guess we're doing understanding audio today. Both are really interesting. This one I did live through, so technically this falls into the same problem I was just talking to you a lot about. But this one is fun, but also so is this one. And I wanted to understand audio engineering and how microphones even pick up my voice for the longest time. So, like, this is a K669B microphone, and currently, I'm not in my office in the basement of my house. I'm in my dorm. This could not be recorded until I got home in April. So maybe that'll be a video for April, but we'll still write it today. Make music, bro? Nope. What's even in? Hold on. I don't know if I have a Google Chrome window available. Why? All right. Why audio then? Because audio is a lot more than just music. It could be microphones or like. Yeah, audio is a lot more than just music. Audio is literally me talking to you. It's the music in my background. That's snap. It's the slight change in air pressure that gives you sound. And your brain is just feeling that. Your ear is feeling that change in air pressure in there, and your brain's interpreting it as sound. Like, I can snap, my microphone can pick that up, and it'll get beamed into your headphones or through your speakers, and it'll, like, vibrate to, like, make that noise. Speaking of which, we are learning what we're doing today. That's basically what we're doing. We're trying to learn. We're like learning. A lot of what I do is just learning shit. So hello, Google Chrome. What are we looking at? We want to figure out what makes a USB microphone work without looking at a stupid fucking, AI overview. I feel like we want to start with Wikipedia for the time being. I did. I also saw a video about making your own microphone. It was by DIY Perks or something. This is the type of shit I was looking for. What microphones usually need is in a USB microphone, a preamp, and a DAC. This, I already know what this is. That's a digital audio converter. Because when I talk into a microphone, it's getting it's like vibrating a little diaphragm inside this thing and turning that into electrical signals. And the DAC turns that into a digital signal. This is an analog to digital conversion happening in the microphone, going into my computer, and then my computer is noticing the digital signal and recognizes it as waveform. So, me talking to you right now is a result of my microphone picking up, having the little diaphragm on the inside vibrate slightly and taking that as an analog signal, waves, and then pumping that into its DAC, which goes out the wire as a digital signal into my computer, and you're hearing me now. Any old noise will do that, by the way. Like, you hearing that wind? That's it, like, still vibrating the diaphragm. USB microphones aren't as sensitive as XLR microphones. Some like high-end XLR microphones are extremely sensitive for recording music and vocals at a very clear rate. This is not as sensitive, although it also does depend on your environment. For example, my dorm room is quite echoey. It's pretty echoey in here, and that does impact how I sound. In fact, if I monitor myself through OBS real fast, I'm curious how I sound. All right. So, right now I've got myself monitored, and my room is pretty echoey. I think I have a noise gate on, but nonetheless, it is also on like you to make sure your environment is pretty clear. So we know what a digital audio converter is. It takes my analog signal, turns it digital. We're looking for what the fuck a preamp is today. What is that? A preamplifier, also known as a preamp, is an electronic amplifier that converts a weak electrical signal into an output strong enough to be noise tolerant and strong enough for further processing. So in XLR microphones, my cord would go into the preamp, I believe. Nope, but here's a fun thing. They are usually used to amplify signals from analog accessories used such as microphones and pickups. Is this for like an electric guitar? What the fuck is a pickup? I'm curious. Ah, cool. We'll look at that later. But I'm just gonna quickly grab that. Hello, PC Magazine. Anyway, so hold on, let me just pull up a. Let's look at a cool little photo of this thing. So, this volume slider right here. That's our preamp. That is our preamp just about here. And in and around this area where the cord would be plugged in, mine doesn't plug in. Mine's just directly in the thing. Right here, that is where the DAC is. So generally, I think around here and down around here is where our preamp lives and our DAC lives. Yeah? Cool. I did all that research just to figure out what the fuck a preamp and a DAC are, and just to sit out for like 5 seconds. Okay, so next problem I need to solve is how do I just not put all of my information into literally the fucking intro of the video? I was pointing at stuff with my cursor, and then I realized that doesn't work, so I just zoomed in. So I just zoomed in, and that did the trick, basically. So, I still don't know how to fucking spell definitely. Yeah, I still don't fucking know how to spell definitely. I hate it too. What are other types of like cores for microphones? There's like USB and XLR. I am quickly searching this up. No, these are the types of microphone. I guess cord. Yeah, there's usually just most of them are just XLRs. It is just XLR or USB. I don't think there's an in between. Besides maybe lapel mics that use fucking aux. And like aux cords have been standardized for years, mate. Years. So you know. You know. Yeah. 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 Anyway, that solves our big next problem, which is just there's two types of cords. There's the XLR cord and the USB cord. USB A most of the time, but sometimes it's B or C. It really matters. And an audio interface is also just a preamp and a DAC, isn't it? Like, let me have a look here. I guess we're looking for an audio interface. Like, okay, so in audio, I'm looking at this now. I'm going into this with such little understanding of what goes into these. Forgive me. So, the input and output of audio signals to and from a host computer or recording device. Is this like a? This, I'm assuming this doesn't work like a. This kind of has a DAC on it. They're closely related to sound cards, which just input and output from of audio signals to and from a computer. Do people even sell sound cards that much anymore? Do people buy sound cards? I'm curious. No, but like, we want to understand more about what goes into these things. I presume that these are like devices that have a DAC and a preamp also inside them, but they're stronger preamp. Yep, check that. Audio interface, although they may include microphone preamps. May. I presume they've already got a DAC on hand. They do. Low latency analog to digital, so I presume they've got a DAC. Hello, bro. Where are your XLR inputs? On the back? Why? I thought they were supposed to be on the fucking front. Right. Yep. The Scarlett 2i2's got two preamps with front panel and instrument input, so I can plug in an electric guitar if I please, or I can just plug in a microphone if I want. Two air preamp modes for classic console sound. Comes with Ableton Live. That's nice. Let's see here. I have no clue what the fuck a phantom power. I think there's a lot of stuff about audio that's like is more for musicians. Is DC power applied to both signals and balanced microphone cables? Should I have taken a music class this semester? What the fuck? Okay. All right. I think we're only here to figure out if this thing has a DAC in its own preamp. It does. I'm doing way too much like deep diving, man. Am I sure about that? Because I am afraid of being wrong on the internet. There's nothing scarier. Alright, sure. What's in your silly little microphone? Alright, details. Does this thing come with a DAC on hand? Look at all these microphones. Focus. Oh, you can tell he's a streamer. It was a silly little ring light gamer monitors. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm presuming that the XLRs don't have DACs on board. No, built-in DACs are a USB microphone thing only, so we can just write that out. Is that not how you... I don't agree with that, but okay. My computer does this really fun thing where it just doesn't recognize that I'm pressing the R key on my keyboard. Makes spelling things that start or have an R in them really fun. And now it's not listening to when I do an F. Cool. Okay, so I just need to transition into like do I need to transition into like how talking about like how actual sound works, like the vibration of the air, like the change of air pressure that goes into the ears, and how your brain interprets that as a fucking sound? Is sound even real? I need to fucking. Okay. So in physics, sound is real, but in the study of psychology, it's how our brains interpret that shit. I mean, the waves are definitely fucking real. The waves are real, but like our understanding of what the waves mean, is that real, or is that just how our brains interpret that? I mean, yeah, it's just a fucking acoustic. It's just a wave. So I'm sure it's fine. I think it's fine to say, yes, sound is real. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I think it's fine to say that sound is real and move on with my life. I'm just trying to think about how we actually transition from talking in intro about the microphones and how those transmit sound, and talk about literally the entirety of sound in general and how that works, because sound goes far when it comes to the technologies that we humans have made to like hear them. Like there's microphones, preamps, amps, and actual amplifiers, fucking speakers, electric guitars. Like there's a lot to get into when it comes to understanding audio. And I think I want to say audio specifically because sound is fucked. Sound is everything. It's again, like you said, it's the physicality of air moving. I feel like the average like musician, like I feel like the average kid in his bedroom playing a guitar and trying to be like his idols knows a lot more about sound than I ever could off the top of my head. But that's the learning experience, baby. That's the fun of it. I'm learning alongside all of you while I write this. But anyway, let's get to the real meat and potatoes. What if you like a natural good transition? How the fuck do I start talking about that? Anyway, I think I want to start with. I'm just gonna like make a bullet point of stuff I need to talk about here. And then after we talk about how sound works, I think we'll go deeper into microphones, and then amplifiers, and then I guess like there's. I think I want to like what's in a studio. I think is the best thing to think about. So hold on just a minute. What's in one of these? There's one on my campus that I could go to, but then I'd have to leave stream and I'd be gone for a while. I think we'll just try and write down what we want to talk about today. There's microphones, there's amplifiers, there's. I think we want to talk about DAWs for a little bit, those digital audio workstations. I don't know if FL Studio is a DAW. I don't even know why I'm thinking about that. FL Studio is very much a DAW. I'm thinking like Ableton is also a DAW. Is Magic's Music Maker a fucking DAW? I think Magic's Music Maker is a DAW. I got a BRB, so. So I think if you want to, I feel like DAWs should be our last thing we talk about because I want to talk about also acoustics. So we're gonna talk about microphones, amplifiers, acoustics, and digital audio workstations. Is there anything else of real interest that needs to be discussed when talking about digital audio on the internet specifically? Because I'm trying to think of like applications of audio online. There's the microphones for people who create content online, like me and other streamers and YouTubers and whatnot. There's amplifiers for people who produce more, like produce music and need to make sure that their audio signals or HiCAF are clear. Acoustics is for literally everyone, just to make sure for everyone who uses the microphone to make sure that their area that they're recording audio in is pretty good. And digital audio workstations are important for people who make music or who want to make sure that their audio is nice and clear. Audio engineer. Why did my shit just refresh? Hello? What the fuck was that about? My internet died or something? No, I'm fine. I'm mad thinking about it. Hold on. Like. I think this is a good like amount of like things to converse about how the sound what the sound actually mean, how people record it, how people like stabilize it, how people record it, how people like edit it. I think we also want to talk about how people hear it. I also really want to talk about the aux cable. That may not be interesting. This one is what I can assume about the aux cable is that digital signal goes in, audio signal gets used. I mean, analog signal gets used. I presume. Not sure. This should be a good like list of things to converse about. Yes. Okay, we're gonna put a cap on this one for a little bit. Understanding audio requires such a deep understanding of like audio like standards and how audio works and whatever. So that's gonna take a bit. Plus, I know someone who will kill me if I'm wrong about any of this. So I wanna just Ooh, EQ. I need to talk about EQ. Probably in the spot where I talk about fucking about DAWs and audio recording. I'll probably talk about all that shit when I talk about recording specifically. Hmm. Hmm. Dang. Yeah. Okay. Digital switchover video. Right. Okay. Cool. We're gonna start talking about this because I know a lot more about digital switchover and why we went from analog signals to digital ones. I would also live through this one, so I'm a bit biased. When did we start watching television? Like, how long has television been, like, the act of watching television been around? When did, like, television come to, like, the masses? Like, I'm curious now. Popular television came in around, like, the 1950s was when it was the primary medium for influencing public opinion, I'm reading. But I think it started around the 1920s. This really makes me want to go out on campus and go to the audio, like the actual fucking recording studios. I know that they're there, so I want to go look at those really badly and go work there for a little bit. Although my laptop is low on charge, so I probably can't do that. Is Zam still alive? So we'll just rate him. If you ever hate a friend. Okay, cool. Kiki's live. We'll just I'll throw you guys at her. Cool. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for the raid, RO. I hope you enjoyed me basically just going down rabbit holes for 40 something minutes. It was not that long. I thought it was way longer. Anyway, bye bye.